Hello and welcome to the Man Like Radio podcast. Now let's do some godly talk for godly walk.
Well, hello once again. This is the Man Like Radio podcast, and I am your host, Richard Boyd. And of course, we have the other host on the other side, Pastor Stan Ferrell. And how is you doing? Is that good English?
It's good enough.
Well, I thank God my mother's not listening, Stan, because then she might be. She'll just say, really, that is terrible English.
Oh yeah, I want to get on her bad side for sure.
What is it with these mothers that make sure we have to get everything right?
Hey man, they go out of dang. That's all I can say.
That's all you can say, brother. I understand. Yep. I understand. Okay, we're talking today about successfully you. In fact, recently, Stan, you came down to here in San Antonio, Texas, at Love Gospel Church, and you did at our church successfully you. And before we get into that, I want to remind everybody, manlikeradio.com. That's manlikeradio.com is where you can go and you can actually get your poll questions in, and you'll see the number there. Also, you can email us at manlikeradio@gmail.com. Let me just say one thing about the email. Go ahead and get that in. We won't get to your questions on the email tonight, but I will say this week you can always ask us a question, which some people do, and we have one that actually came in, so that you can do that. And also you can listen to the podcast later on anytime you want if you subscribe to iTunes. And then once you go to iTunes, if you have an Apple phone, or you can do it in an Android phone, iTunes, and then you can just click on Man Like or Man Like Radio, and then it will notify you when it comes out there. And also on SoundCloud.com, you can do the same thing. Just download the SoundCloud app. It's free, and then you can just click on Man Like Radio, and bam, they'll notify you every single time we come in the air. So Stan, we're talking about successfully you. Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Before we go into successfully you, let's define, and Stan, we've been going on this for the past few weeks. In fact, last month we talked a little bit about it. We talked about why men fear success, and we'll deal with that a little bit later again. But let's talk about what is success. I know success is having a big boat, a big jet, a big Rolls Royce, and living on the highest house in the hill, correct?
All wrong.
Okay.
Listen, we've got to be bold enough to take the right side of this thing called success, because and have the courage to say, you know what, we've been on the wrong side, which means we flipped success upside down, and I think we have to have the courage to turn it right side up.
Okay.
By saying this.
Okay, go ahead.
Means you got to look at the original definition of success, and not the diluted, defaulted, and all these other versions of success, and clear all the mud out the way and say, you know what? Let's think about it. If we believe, which I know we do, we believe that we are created being, this universe was created by God, which we do, then we've got to use the original. Scripture talks about two types of wisdom, two types of intelligence, so to speak, one from above and one from beneath. Mm-hmm. And we've been operating from beneath, trying to get higher, but you got to go higher. You got to work from above. So, point being is this: success. We got to define it for what it is, and I think when we do that, then it clarifies and it clears things up, and not in a religious way in terms of definition, but in a real original. I like to use the word original.
Right.
Right. And trying to define it. So, success simply is the original intent and purpose of a thing. Is what it's based upon.
Okay.
That when something functions, whether it be a person, place, or a possession, or anything, function according to its original intent and purpose, then you have success. Period.
Right.
And so
in other words, a car is not a dump truck, and a dump truck is not a car.
There you go.
Okay.
But
Stan, let me just cut in there. But some will say to you, I'm going to use that little analogy there. A dump truck will take you where you want to go. just like a car.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, and so what we got to do? We go back and look at what's the original purpose
Right.
of both. It's the same.
Yeah.
The only difference is the ride. So you know what I'm saying? So you can't determine success by the ride of the vehicle. You determine the success whether did the vehicle do what it was created to do. Take you from point A to point B.
Wow.
Success was accomplished.
Right.
Period.
Right. Right.
You know.
Right. So
And
go ahead.
you know, so we can't get caught up in experiences because the ride is the experience you have on the journey of success, but you were still successful if you arrived at your destination. You see?
Right.
And you may, you know, let's say if you had an accident or, you know, something transpired, you had a flat tire on the way, but you made it. That was still a successful trip.
Right.
You still are in success.
Yes.
In regards of your experience.
So you got to your purpose.
Exactly. The original purpose was fulfilled of the vehicle.
Right.
And that vehicle was successful.
Right. Right.
You know, and so it is with the person that if I carry out the original intent of my creation as a person, then I will be successful. I am successful. So I have to look at it's not about my stuff. It's about self. So success is about self, not stuff.
Now, but do you agree though, Stan? And I think we've talked about this over and over and over. And I always like to kind of, since I'm the one quite giving you the interview, and since you are the professional in this area, okay. So, but do you agree that some form of stuff does have something to do with success to some extent? And I'm not talking about a person who, you know, it just idolizes their vehicle or their goal or their money or whatever. But you do agree that some form of success is stuff? Is that the reward, or would you say the reward of it?
Has to do with that.
Okay.
Stuff is what you gain when you are successful.
Okay. All right. So you don't gain stuff. You don't gain stuff. You become successful, and the result of it, or the gifting of it, or the byproduct is
stuff is a part of the reward.
Right. Okay.
It's a part of the reward.
That's what. Okay. Yes.
You know.
Right.
Now think about it. Think about it, Rich. You go back, look at creation. That God made all the stuff that Adam would need before He came. So he couldn't measure his success by the stuff. It was already here.
Very good. Very good.
Right. So the measurement of his success was, are you fulfilling what I put you here to do? Not how much of this stuff you got. Because I gave it all to you before there was ever you, so you can't measure your success on this stuff because it exists before you. Right. So you measure your success with, are you fulfilling my original intent for you, yourself? See? Yes. And that's what success for you comes from, because success for you has to do with, you cannot have success until you find you, and when you find you and live according to you, then you will always have success.
Okay, which gets me to my next question. Which gets me to my next question is successfully you. Exactly what is successfully you? Successfully you is fulfilling the original intent of who you were created to be. Right. And what you were created to do. In regards to other people. And we see today that people are just even in the church are not, women are just not doing that. Yeah. It's like we've got to challenge our people to say, you know what, we don't make success too difficult, because we looking at all these other, definitions and ideas, but the truth of the matter is, listen, you got all this stuff that people call success and you ain't happy, you're not successful. Because think about this, Rich. Think about this. All of life as we know it is spiritual, mental, and physical. The order of things originally is spiritual, mental, and physical. In other words, the existence of all physical things has its root in the spiritual world. Right, correct. Which means that which is seen was made by which was unseen. But what's going to happen is people flip that and say, well, physical, mental, then spiritual. Well, that's success in reverse. Right. So if I get the physical right, I'll get everything else right, which is not true. That's not true. So the way life works is, think about it. You take a chair, for example. Take a chair. The chair, the manifestation of the chair, you sit in a chair. That chair, the root of that chair is the unseen realm, the world of a thought. Right.
Okay? And that thought came from the spiritual realm. See, the intelligence of God's word and God in the universe. So everything begins in the spiritual realm. See, we got to stop thinking that spiritual is religious. Spiritual ain't about religion.
Right.
Spiritual is about life. Spiritual is about a relationship with the Creator.
Yes.
So the bottom line is we've got to stop, making yourself religious and make it relational in terms of to its Creator and then to us, so we can properly fulfill it. So therefore, my success begins in the spiritual realm, and then it crosses over to the mental realm, and then manifests itself in the physical realm. See?
Okay.
So the key to it is how spiritually fulfilled am I is going to determine my mental and my physical.
Yes.
But people looking at the physical trying to determine success, you can't look at it backwards like that and then try to walk back. No, it starts with the spiritual realm.
Okay.
And again, I like to say, we got to differentiate between religion and spirituality.
Right.
And so we're not talking about religious, life here. We're talking about life that's relative to your creator, because we got to believe that we are created beings, and according to the scriptures, we were created with success as a guarantee if we follow the script of who we are. For example,
right.
I give you a handful of apple seeds. See that you don't have to pray that apple seed produce apples. What you have to pray is that you do the right thing with the apple seeds. Because if you do the right thing with the apple seed, which means if you put the apple seeds in an environment that's conducive to its nature, then it will produce apple, which means it will be successful in being what it is. So it is with people.
Right.
See? So
well, basically, let me add this here then. So really what you're saying, Coach, which is another question I was going to get to you on this, is that success is different in many ways. It's not the same for everyone. Would you say that?
No, it's not the same. It don't look the same. It's the same, it just don't look the same.
Right. Okay.
Think about it. Think about it like this. Here's why I say it's the same. God, there was one God that made us all. So we all got the same root.
Yes.
Okay? So our success has the same source and it is the same. Its manifestation will look different. Just like male and female. They are from the same cloth. They just look different.
Right.
They have different functions, but they are one in the same. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? So when a male be what God, the man that God created him to be, that's being successful, because, if you try to be a female, you can't have success, because it's not in your nature to be a female, so therefore you cannot experience success outside of what your nature is.
Yes.
Which means the original you.
Right.
And vice versa. So, so success is the same for everybody. It just looks different.
Right. Well, I want to give a shout out there to Mr. Serrano, who is listening. Thank you once again. In fact, you sent a thing in. Those of you who are listening us on social media, and whether that is Facebook or Twitter, not to advertise them, thank you once again for listening. I'm talking with Stan Ferrell, of course, our co-host we have during the week. Stan, I look back and I got to admit something to you. I realized we got our weeks off. Actually, because Brother Arthur Culpepper was not well the first, he had like a little medical checkup the first week of the month. You came in on, I put Jeff Daniels ahead, and you came in on Jeff Daniels' week, and so we've kind of flipped, but it doesn't matter, because this is man-like, and we want to and this is God ordained. In fact, actually somebody had brought it to my attention, which it really doesn't matter. I just want to say that out there, because, but I want to say to those of you who are out there, thank you once again. You can get your questions in right here on the social media. Do not be bashful. You can get them in. I have an expert when it comes to this. We try to do these experts, But let's go.
You know someone who knows the expert.
Okay, all right. Well, let's go to some quotes here, Stan. Let's go to some quotes. Okay. What about this quote here? And I know you already answered it, but I'm going to do the quote anyway. I have to for the program.
Okay.
What about the quote that says, "Success comes by living from inside first"? Success comes by living from the inside out, I should say.
Exactly. I mean, because again, that's true of all of nature. Nature begins inside first, and then it unfolds, and then we reap the benefit of it. So if the tree don't be successful in being the tree, we can't reap the benefit. And the success of the tree is in the tree, not us.
Right.
Not anything outside of it, what's within it.
Right.
But the scripture says this in Genesis 1 that God put the seed of a thing in the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
See? So if it bees itself, then it'll produce its fruit. That's successful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what you got to look at success. So success is never outside of you. It's always inside.
It's always inside, regardless.
Always.
Right. Regardless.
We must develop the skills and the ability to bring it out of us, which means, I believe this, Richard, that every person, according to the scripture that says preordained and predestined, is already successful. They just haven't experienced it yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, just like I believe this, that everybody, and I know I've got myself in trouble in saying this, Stan, but I really hold to it, that everybody has the ability, and it's already there for them to be saved. They just don't know it yet.
Exactly. It's there.
It's there.
Exactly, because they got faith. God gave everybody faith. Faith is not given to faith. Faith is given to all of humanity.
Right.
See? And sin killed it. Sin deactivated, but it's still there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See?
Mm-hmm.
And so salvation, all salvation is, this is another thing the church has messed up is salvation reactivate what you already have and you always had.
Yes.
You just couldn't use it because it was inactive.
Right. Correct.
See? So sin rendered it powerless. That's why Jesus had to die and said, and go get the keys of death, grave, and of hell, and said, now all power. And he gave it back to man. Why? In other words, he gave us back the key to hit the switch to turn the power back on. See? It's like a transformer. The transformer is still on the premises, but it's not working. But just because it's not working don't mean it's not there.
Right.
We got to get it to come back on in order for it to benefit from the transformer. So
let's go with this quote. Let's go with this quote here. I know you already answered it again, but I got to get the quote out, okay? We got to keep an order here. You're way ahead of me, okay? Society defines success in terms of material supply. That quote says that is not success. Success is not, as society defines success in terms of material supply. Yeah.
See, that success as it's come from the world, and I like to say, it's the default version. It is the diluted, polluted version of success, because when man fell, that's all he had to measure himself by what he saw and what he had.
Yes.
Because see, he didn't know him. He knew himself. See, because you got to understand, that's why Jesus is so necessary, because you cannot be truly successful without Christ, because it's through Christ that you come into, that you are quickened again, that you made alive, and that you can know who you really are. Outside of that, all Adam had was everything that was in the earth realm. So he redefined success based upon his fallen state, which is really a cursed life and not a blessed life.
Wow. Well, you know what, Stan? We got to take a break, because I'm going to come back and hit you with 3 John 1 and 2, which says that beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health, even as your soul prosper. But don't say anything there, because we got to take a break, and we will be right back. Those who are listening, those who are watching on the Manlight Radio, you can get your questions once we come back on the break right there on the social media, or you can go to our website or through our email at manlightradio@gmail.com. That's manlightradio@gmail.com, or go to manlightradio.com if you're listening to us. Stan and I will be right back. Morning, welcome once again, and thank you for watching and listening to the Manlight Radio. We want to thank every one of you out there. Male, of course, is geared to men, but also there are other women and young people who do watch us. And we want to say thank you once again for taking your time out. Do you know you can carry us with you everywhere? That's right, right on your phone or on your tablet or in your computer. Just go to iTunes, that's right, iTunes podcast, and there you can look up Manlike. Once you type Manlike in, one word, you'll see us there and subscribe to us. And every time a program comes on, within the next so many hours, it'll download automatically into your phone. Or you can go to SoundCloud.com, and there you can download, the SoundCloud app. And once you download that, you can look for Manlike Radio, and you'll have a continual running thing of our programs. If you're watching instructions for social media where you know exactly where to follow us. But once again, thank you. And we want to tell you this so you can carry us with you all the way, and every place you want to go. So once again, go to iTunes Podcast and look for Man Like Radio or Man Like. Secondly, go to SoundCloud, and on SoundCloud.com you can download the app, and you can also get Man Like Radio. Well, let's get right back into the show, because I know that we are having a good time. And again, we do this so we can enjoy and spread the good news that God has for men to improve ourselves in these last days. Well, we are back. That's right, we are back, and I have the expert on the phone. I just love to.
All right.
I just love to get you going on that one. You know, we just got to do that.
You know, boy.
If the wives are listening, they probably say, you know, these guys' heads are so big. Just, you know, these guys' heads are so big, it's not funny. You know, I heard a preacher say the other day, this, Stan, he says, it was really good. I was actually listening to a conference, and he said that, you know, you can get with a bunch of men and say, y'all are ugly, and all the men go, yay! But you get with a bunch of women and say, y'all are ugly, you'll never go back again, man.
Man, never again.
It don't work again. Okay, so we are talking about Successfully You. And you want to just say for a few moments, Stan, you travel the country, you do these seminars. Let me just ask you this before we go back into questions, this, and I want to remind the folks, you can get your questions out on social media, or you can go to our website at manlightradio.com. That's manlightradio.com. Real quickly, and I know some, but what was one of the reasons for people who are listening, maybe even ministers, pastors, who might want you to come in and speak this into their church or their leadership or their group? Why did you do it? What brought you to this?
Well, you know, we have an experience tremendous failure, you know, a failed marriage, you know, which led to failed ministry and a failed financial life and whatnot. That during that time, man, God really showed me that the key to all these different areas of every area of your life is you. He said, you know, these areas of your life fail because you were failing at being you, which means you were failing at being who I created you to be. And man, that thought, that idea just really arrested me, and I began a journey of understanding what that meant. And one of the things he said to me, he said, when you learn how to live as I created you, then you will experience life the way I intended you to experience it. And your success is within you. So anything and anybody connected to you will fail if you fail to be you. And I began on an 8-year journey, man. It was an 8-year journey. It took me 8 years to develop this, and for God to develop this in me and teach me this, and really show me that, you know what, you're living from your head and not your heart. God operates from within your heart, not your head. And so as I learned that, I really found out who I was, who God created me to be. Not who I was raised to be, not who people wanted me to be, which I've been all of that, but then I wasn't who God created me to be. And I'm still on that journey of discovery. So
what's the saying you say, Stan? Live as you are, and I just slipped me.
Live as you was created, and not as you were born.
Wow. Because people are defining our birth, but God defined our creation.
God defines us by our creation, not by our birth. Because see, it's birth. Listen, when we're born in sin, and sin killed us. See?
Right.
Through creation, God made us like Him. But when we arrive to the earth through the birth canal, then we experience death. So we cease to be who God created us to be the moment we were born.
Wow.
That's why we got to be born again through Jesus Christ. See why? Because what He does, He restores and reconnects us back to our original self and our original state and relationship with our Creator. So you got to live as you was created, not as you were born.
And you know, Stan, I hate to but I got to throw a little punch into right here. That's why abortion is so terrible, because you take away that child's right. Let's be honest, to be born into the world, to become what God created them to be. Correct? I mean, that's why abortion is so terrible, because you take away, and I had to throw that in because when you were talking, that hit me, because you've taken away the right of that child because of our quote rights or selfishness, whichever political way you want to go, but you take away that right of that child to live as God made them.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing that women don't understand. See, this ain't about a woman's body, whatever. See, and that kind of stuff. It's really about allowing God's purpose through that individual to be fulfilled. No one has the right to take away another person's purpose in this earth. And that's what that is about. And so it's bigger than, morality. It's bigger than, the woman's right, whatever.
Yes.
Because what you understand something. See, rights don't mean you have the right to do what you want to do.
Right.
Because you have rights. Because sometimes to carry out your rights, you can cause a lot of problems for society. Right. So your rights are given to us, but then they must benefit everybody else as well. So it ain't about, just ourselves. So that is what's behind it. So that was a good point. Yeah. I mean, that's what it's about.
Well, let's go to the 3 John 1 and 2. I did it before the break, and I'll say it again. Beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. I want to ask you this. Should we as ministers preach success, and why? And is prosperity a part of it? Now, I know we're about to go into a realm where the church is totally split down the middle. Talk about America being divided. I think the church is divided more about whether God wants us to prosper or not.
Yeah. Yes, prosperity. But see, I'm a technicality type of person, so, I deal with the technicality of the word. So this says, I wish that you prosper. Stop right there. See, the you is not the physical. It's not the mental, it's the spiritual. I wish that you prosper. You have to prosper. When something prospers, Richard, again, the word prosper, see, we don't dilute it and polluted the word prosper. The word prosper means something is becoming what it originally is. So when I'm prospering, that means I'm unfolding as planned. See? So he says, I wish that you become as planned, even as, and be in good health, that is with your body, even as your soul, which is your mind. So it begins with you, which is spiritual. So again, prosperity like success is not about material things. Prosperity is about you becoming as intended and evolving into the physical as well. See, so it's a process. So prosperity, let me put it to you like this. Prosperity is the journey that success travels down. See? Prosperity is a process. It's not an end.
Right.
So when something is prospering, that means it's working the way it's supposed to work. That's what prosperity means.
Correct.
See? But we don't make it, again, material because we use a secular definition and not a spiritual definition.
So Stan,
secular is always backwards.
Go ahead. Okay, how would we deal with men who are fearful of success? We dealt with this one time in the whole show. I want to remind the folks they can go back to manlightradio.com and they can click in it. They can actually go to YouTube on Manlight Radio and they'll find that, and it's there. Dealing with fear, men. Sometimes as men, we have this time we fear it. I mean, it might sound crazy. Nobody wants to fear success, but okay. So how do we deal with men who are fearful of success?
Well, you got to first keep, listen, your fear of success means you refuse to look in the mirror. See, you refuse to look in the mirror which means you don't want to look at you or your situation for what it really is. That's really what people are afraid of. It ain't success. Because when you have success, how can you be afraid of something you don't have? So it's really, think about it, it's really the fear of what you do know, which is not success, and you don't want to own and come clean with, what you thinking, what you be doing, it ain't sufficient, it ain't working, because we just want to believe that it is when we know it's not. So it's not success that I believe people are afraid of. It's they're afraid of being honest about their failure.
Yes.
They're afraid of being honest of who they really are at this point, which means looking in the mirror. When you can look in the mirror and truly, look in the mirror and then take what you got and then make the corrections, man, it's that fear thing goes away. People are afraid to look in the mirror. Bottom line. So it's not success they're afraid of. That's just how we live. For example, I've been doing marriage counseling for a long time, and I found out that people, marriage fail for reasons that people don't like to admit. People say, well, it failed because of sex, money, or this or that. No. Marriage failed when people fail at being who they need to be.
Yes.
See?
Right.
Marriage succeeds when people choose to be what they need to be.
Right.
Marriage never failed because of money, sex, or anything. Those are the things we use. Those are the excuses we use, but that's not why it failed. The reason marriage failed is we can't get over our own selfishness. See?
Right.
Which keeps taking it back to you. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So if I stop being selfish in my marriage, then the marriage will succeed.
And that would mean all across the whole relationship too, not just even our own selves to others,
Any
right?
kind of relationship. Any kind of relationship.
Right. In the church,
So
in the
think about
job.
it. Let's take a business relationship. The key to the business relationship is the success of the business partners individually.
Wow.
Simple as that.
Right.
See? So,
Right.
you know.
Right. Okay.
That's where it begins.
Right. So let's go on this. Let's see. We got a few minutes left. About 4 or 5 minutes left before we end. Let's see this. I'm gonna throw this out.
Left, though.
What's that? What's that?
I thought we got about 8 questions left.
No. We're finished basically with the questions. What I want to get to is let's talk about whether you agree or disagree. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Okay. So let's get to our agree and disagree part. All right. So agree or disagree. Right. Success is home with loved ones who love you in return.
Disagree.
You disagree.
Disagree.
And
that's success with at home with loved ones
who will love you in return.
Who will love you.
Actually, what it's saying is, and I wrote this down here quickly. Success is being at home, not necessarily living, but being at home with the ones you love, who in return will also love you. That's the better way to say it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's
right. So basically, success is giving love. It's giving love to receive love. And I'm not saying we're giving to receive. I'm just saying, but it's giving love, and in return, you receive love. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I
throw it out. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm still thinking about that statement.
I was thinking a little bit. Okay. All right. What about this one?
I don't know.
Right. What about this one? Success is knowing who you are and where you belong in life.
I totally agree with that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
So it is knowing who we are, and then you've already talked about from the beginning. Live as you were, and say it again.
Created and not as you were born.
As not as you were born, and that would answer to that one definitely. Okay, what about this one?
Yeah.
Success is a great example. One of the areas of success they're saying is doing something you love and brings joy and peace in your life.
Well, I know people doing some committing crimes. They love it and they say they at peace. You know what I'm saying? I've been smoking weed, you know. So,
but Stan, I don't know if they're at peace.
I don't know. That's what they tell me. You know. I mean, that's suspect. I think that's a weak definition, because a lot of times we can get used to things, you know, and we call it at peace or whatever, and I just have to say yes, you know, all things being equal, you know, as a generic.
Right. I understand that.
Generic version.
Okay. All right. So let's close out with these three here. Success is not worrying or being in a state of worry all the time.
Oh, that's a major component of success, I believe. You know, because that speaks volume about your mental state, because your mental state is a very key component to success, and worry is anti who you are. It's anti you know. So it takes you backwards.
Right. Correct.
Absent of worry is a major piece of success, I would say.
Right. Somebody put a question in here, Stan. They said this. It says, if I keep failing, is it because I'm doing the same thing wrong over and over?
If I keep failing
at something, is it because I'm doing the same thing wrong over and over?
That's possible, but it's also possible, you know, that you haven't started doing, you know, what you should be doing in regards to who you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so we got to, again, you got to look at, okay, what you're doing, what you're trying to do, how, you know, what's your reasons for doing that? You know, and for example, you know, like Abraham Lincoln, he kept failing at his campaign of trying to get office because he was shooting for the wrong office. You know, he was supposed to be president. He kept trying to be congressman and senator.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it wasn't because he was did the wrong thing. Oh yeah, he was shooting for the wrong thing.
Right.
You know, he was doing the right thing, but he was shooting for the wrong thing.
Okay.
So you could be doing the right thing, but your target is wrong.
Right. Well, we got a guy in here put a question, another person in. In fact, his name is Stan. I know it's not you, okay? But Stan wants to ask, he said, is his success built on others, the success of others?
No, your success is never built upon others. It's built for others.
Built for others. Difference. Okay.
Yeah. You see, right. God never intended for us to stand on anyone to achieve our success. You find that in 1 Corinthians chapter 2 talks a lot about that. God never puts it in the hand of another man concerning another man's success.
Right.
It's based upon only God. Only God.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, it also says this in that chapter. They talk about your faith standing in the wisdom of men or standing in the wisdom of God.
Mm-hmm.
You never stand in the wisdom of man or on men.
Mm-hmm.
It's never based upon another person.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always for another person.
Right. Okay, is fear the biggest hindrance, one of the biggest hindrance, or if not the biggest hindrance to our success?
I would say it is. Yes, it's one of the biggest because, I mean, it takes faith to be successful, and the arch enemy of faith is fear. So
okay, what do you say then, Stan? Yeah. So I have a little question. What do you say then if there's some areas that you understand? I mean, you do agree that there's some fears that are good, and I'm not saying that in a negative way.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
What do you say?
Yeah. You need to fear because it'll keep you alive.
You just need to have the faith.
All them guys are going to treat them. I ain't afraid. They ain't gonna live long.
Hey, you're talking about some of our friends back from the old days, man. They're gone.
So there is such thing as a healthy fear.
Right. Okay. And at the same time, but faith is what overcomes the true unhealthy fear where you can break forth. Yeah.
See, you're right. We're not talking about that tormenting fear.
Right. Okay.
So, but that's fear that gives us respect.
Right. So let's go for this last one here. You probably say, "Woo!" The last one here, and that is where does selfishness play a role in us not receiving success?
Selfish, major role. Here's the primary role: is that when you fail to realize that success is not just for you. That is the what selfishness does and how it kills success. Is that success? It comes through me. It comes to me, but it ain't just for me.
Right.
See?
Right.
When I fail to realize that when I'm trying to achieve success just for me, you're really killing your own success.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So success is for God made us for the bigger part. We are part of a bigger, and every part is valuable, but not one part must only be concerned about yourself. For example, if your hands no longer be concerned with the body, then it will lose its success because it is given its success based upon the need of the body, not the need of the hand.
Mm-hmm.
Though it supplies the needs of the hand, but its primary is for the need of the body.
Right.
So it was of individual. That my success is for the body, for society, not just for me.
Right.
And that's how selfishness kills success, and it is a great problem. That's why a lot of people don't experience it.
Right. Well, you know what? We have come almost to the end of another program, and
man, what a time goes!
I know we were going, man. But I just want to say, first of all, thank you, Stan. First of all, we're sorry for everyone out there. It was Stan's fault Tuesday why we didn't come on.
Yeah, it was.
That's my way of success, Stan, of passing the buck. No, we had some technical difficulties, thank God for modern technology. Right. And we had one of our servers that were down, and of course we couldn't come on, and we tried hard, at least I tried hard, to really get this thing going. But anyway, we're back today, and that's why we did on the Thursday. I want to remind you, we'll be back next Tuesday, and with Manlike. And at the same time, you can go to manlikeradio.com and get all the information. You can read Jeff's blogs. You can go to Stan's website website through there and get all the information there. You can go to author's Facebook page. You can go and read Jeff's blogs. You can go and basically you can see what you need to see at manlikeradio.com. You can also email us at manlikeradio@gmail.com. Stan, any closing thoughts before we close this thing down for the night or the day in some countries?
The one and only, the one that captures everything. Live as you was created, not as you born, and you will experience success. Sure.
Wow. Well, God bless everybody, all you men out there, and those other ladies and other people who listen. We will see you next time on the Man Like Radio podcast. Thank you once again for joining us on this Man Like podcast. Please take time and email us at manlikeradio@gmail.com. Once again, that's manlikeradio@gmail.com. Man Like Podcast is a production of R.N. Boyd Productions and Love Gospel Network. Please seek a qualified professional in the area you need immediate help.